Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Deja Vu here, bringing you Set 4, aka Set 3 regame between Zero and Hogil on Aztec. And we're going to have the same start position. Zero's going to be in the bottom left in yellow. Hogil going to be at the 12 o'clock position in red. Now, last game, Zero was in red. Do not get confused, as I can almost guarantee you that at some point I will get confused and think that Zero is in red. But he is not. Hogil is in red. Hogil in red. Zero in yellow. There you go. You got it. I probably will only have it for a couple of minutes because, as anyone who watches my videos knows, I really can't keep players straight at all. Terrible at it. Just terrible. But, yeah, this is going to be a regame after last game was a draw. Wow, a draw. I mean, Hogil's got to be pretty happy that it came out as a draw. The start of the game was so bad for him, and Zero looked like he was taking a huge lead. Then Hogil was able to draw Zero's Mutalisk away from the fight. I still, the fact that Zero chased him is just flabbergasting. I mean, Zero could have won the game right there by chasing him with the Scourge and then just popping everything in sight with his Mutalisk, but he didn't do that. And the regame, oh man. So now the regame. What will happen here? Anything can happen here. I mean, you know, we could be seeing anything from a try to get an early win, trying to think that, okay, your opponent has played this long game, and mentally you've played this long game, and you certainly don't want to like lose again really early or something. You know, that almost feels anticlimactic, so your opponent is maybe thinking, hey, let's play a long game. And then if you go for an early game victory, it could come away very well. But it looks like Hogil's going to go for a 12 hatch, and Zero's going to go for a 12 pool, it looks like. So, yeah, so it looks like Hogil's going to get another build order advantage. Hogil was able to take the build order advantage on on Gladiator and come away with the victory. When the two players had equivalent builds on Pathfinder, Zero came away with the victory. And in the first game on Aztec, it came away as a draw. So we'll see how it turns out this time, where Hogil does get a little bit of a build order advantage with his 12 hatch. And yeah, Zero's going to figure it out in a little bit. He's gonna see what's going on pretty shortly, and he's going to be pretty unhappy. But we'll see what kind of play he decides to make. Now with his first 100 gas, he has gone for speed, so it looks like he is going to go for Zerglings first. Going to try and put on some Zergling pressure, maybe try and take down that natural expansion hatchery. But this is a difficult prospect to do. I mean, he didn't. If you go for a 9 pool, you can maybe hope to. You really do have a good shot at taking down that that expansion hatchery and taking the game down. Over pool, it'll be close, but really 12 hatch should be able to defend. Certainly against a 12 pool, you'll be able to defend. So, not feeling a ton of hope right now for Zero to do too much damage going speed first, but it was necessary, I think, just to make sure he gets the speed upgraded, even if he doesn't get too aggressive here. We do have layers morphing for both players. Zero's handing a couple Zerglings across the map. Hogil already has a huge group of Zerglings. Looks like he's got 8 Zerglings, and Zero now detects it. So maybe gonna have to play a little bit of a delay game, try and get Hogil to stay back and give Zero time to build his Zergling forces back into numbers. And Zero with a couple Zerglings looking like he's going to use his speed advantage and try and sneak into the natural expansion and try and sneak a drone kill. Not going to be able to get a drone kill, but was able to stop it from mining, that's for sure, so that's good for him. And Hogil here producing another drone from his natural expansion. It looks like he's going to take this opportunity to try and get some to drone up a little bit and try and get a little bit of an advantage that way. And like I said in the last game, you know, that's what a lot of ZVZ is here in the early game, is try and sneak as many drones in as possible. And Hogil does have a 5-side advantage right now. He's produced several more drones right now for this 12 hatch than Zero has been able to. So Hogil getting a nice little advantage. And yeah, this is just one of those unfortunate things. Like, if you hear a lot and you don't understand why necessarily 12 hatch beats 12 pool or over pool, or why these little tiny things where we say that you get 1 drone ahead or 2 drones ahead, how that could possibly matter. Look at the bottom right. Just look at the numbers going there. Look how Hogil is 3 right now 3, but he was up 4 psi for a long time. And think about what 4 psi really is. That's 4 drones. And when you're only talking about people that have maybe 10 to 12 drones, 4 drones, that's 33% more economy. That's huge. If you're talking about Zerglings, that's 8 more Zerglings. And just think about the amount of damage that 8 more Zerglings can do. So just getting that few psi count advantage is huge. Absolutely huge. And matters more in ZVZ than any other matchup. That's absolutely for certain as well. So that, I mean, this is a perfect game where you can really take a look at the bottom right and really be able to see what the difference is between the builds and really get a good idea of why we talk about build order advantage so much in ZVZ and how it can really it's so difficult to fight against a build order advantage. You just it is what it is. It's very, very difficult. Looks like Zero gonna try and come in here and do some damage. Almost loses a Zergling to Hogil, but backs off. Looks like we got a lot of Mutalisks, maybe a Scourge or 2 being produced for Zero. Hogil producing his batch, his Air Force as well. Looks like Hogil has gone full Mutalisk without any Scourges yet. It looks like he's going to build Mutalisk and then try and add Scourge in later on, where Zero's gone for the Scourge right off the bat. We'll see if that ends up making much of a difference. And if Zero can actually force an engagement where he also has the Zerglings underneath, you can see that actually coming out very nicely for him, because those Zerglings will be able to take some of the Glaive Worms. So look for this. That is why those Zerglings are still there, is that you can see right there, a bunch of the Glaive Worms went onto the Zerglings, and that is exactly what Zero wanted. He doesn't want he wants to try and limit the amount of damage done to his Mutalisk, and that's exactly what those Zerglings do. And it looks like this Overlord is probably going to go down. Yeah, it does get popped for Hogil, so Hogil losing that Overlord, and Zero's just about Psy-locked at 41 of 42, and Hogil's still up by a couple psi. He's got 45 of 50 right now, so still looking pretty good. But this is a close match at this point, still a close match, but still Hogil a little bit in the lead. You can see Zero throwing up a Sunken Colony as well, so maybe feeling a little bit unconfident of his defensive abilities against Hogil, so he's going for that Sunken Colony. And also watch out for upgrades. At some point in this game, with both players having so many Mutalisks, it will either come down to a big Mutalisk confrontation, or some fantastic strategy by one or the other, able to draw their opponent out. I think both of them are pretty comparable in Mutalisk Micro. I think Zero's maybe a little bit better than Hogil, but I don't think it's enough of a difference that that Zero can win just purely based on Micro. But we'll see here. And Zero coming in here for a little bit of attack. Looks like he's trying to pick off another Overlord, which he does. Very nicely done by Zero. And here comes a fight, and here comes all of Zero's Scourge, here comes Hogil's Scourge, and how do they land? I don't really know what happened. It looks like a lot of Scourge died for Zero. I don't think he cloned them very well. Just looking at Hogil's Mutalisk, it doesn't look like they were cloned very well at all, so I think Zero may have just hurt himself pretty significantly with some poor cloning of those Scourge, so kind of unfortunate there. But still, the game still hangs in the balance, still a very close game, still a very close rubber match. And here comes another engagement. Zero trying to force the issue once again, trying to force a fight. No upgrades yet, but Zero forced to retreat here, and he is going to back off now. Will Hogil be able to cut him off? He did have a little bit of an angle, and yes, he will. So Zero's going to have to either fight or scatter, and it looks like he's going to choose to fight as he's got some more units coming in to defend. And here comes the big engagement. Who will win here? And a couple more Scourge coming in for both players, a couple Scourge landing for each of them. And here we go, and Zero's going to engage. Is he going to engage? Yes, he is going to engage. Both players, I'm sure, furiously trying to get Scourge into the mix to try and finish off the other, but this is so close, so hard to tell who's actually ahead. Very, very close numbers. It looks like Zero's maybe a little bit ahead, and yes, I do believe Zero is maybe ahead by a Mutalisk. No, he's not. I'm sorry. Hogil was ahead by a Mutalisk or 2. So Hogil coming away with the big advantage in that engagement. So Hogil coming away with a couple more Mutalisks at the end of that. Now Hogil, you can see he's up 10 psi, and Hogil is up by a lot. And yeah, he's up maybe about 4 Mutalisks, it looks like, maybe 4 or 5 Mutalisks he's up. He's up all that psi. He's up. Zergling count is pretty close, I think. think Zergling count is still pretty close, but overall, definitely Hogil with the advantage. And Zero in a little bit of a trouble here. I mean, Zero looks like he's just trying to build up those Mutalisk count again, so that way he can maybe sneak in and try and pick off drones. And you know, you want a certain number of Mutalisk so that way you can easily micro again to pick off drones and to pick off Scourge. That's mostly why Zero's waiting here. But Zero really, once he gets to that number, he's probably not going to sit for too long. I don't imagine seeing him play Turtle for a really long time in this game, just because the longer he turtles, the more he falls behind, really. Yeah. And that's the stage that we're at. Looks like Hogil organizing his Zerglings, maybe going to try and do a combined push finally. And Zero, you can kind of see Zero's units around the map. I do like this from Zero. Units around the map, giving him a lot of vision. He's got a very good idea of, even if these Mutalisks go out in a random direction, he's going to have a pretty good idea of when the where the Mutalisks are at any given point. And he's also going to have a good idea of where Zerglings are. And now he put back those Zerglings just at the wrong time. So now he doesn't know that the Zerglings are coming his way quite yet. He's got an idea of soon, now he knows, but now he's got to get these Zerglings home, needs to get these Zerglings home, and here comes a big aerial engagement between the two over Zero's natural expansion, and here comes the fight, and it just looks like Hogil's just got too many Mutalisk, and Zero not even bringing that whole group of Zerglings home, not even able to bring them home. So, I mean, Zero just looks like he's falling apart. And here come all the Zerglings for Hogil into the main now, and this is over. Zero is going to be forced to GG. Zero's going to get knocked out of the OSL. Hogil's going to advance to the round of 16, and Hogil with that little grin, tongue out, hanging out, and Hogil feeling very, very nice, feeling very, very good, advancing to the round of 16. Zero falls here, so Hogil advancing to the round of 16, got to be very, very happy about that. Height Entis fans will be happy about that, and in this regame, Hogil comes away with the victory, and Zero's going to have to focus on Pro League, I guess, where he's done very, very well, but that's all he's really got left. I don't know if he's alive. He might still be alive in the MSL, but definitely no OSL for him, so Pro League and maybe some MSL for Zero. Zero very, very disappointed in himself, as I think he maybe should be a little bit for this time. I think he should have won that initial game. And this regame was, I mean, he had a build order disadvantage. It is what it is. He did his best, but not able to come away with the victory. So that's it for this OSL group. We're going to go on. I'm actually going to do a couple of single sets from the from Pro League if you guys are interested. So I will be casting that next. So yeah, stay tuned for those.